be their resiliency as a team. While flashes of the past have been seen on occasion, celebration has been a rare commodity. And while at times it seems the Cardinals are playing shorthanded, they have not carried the air of a beaten team. The Philadelphia Eagles believe they too are starting to see the light at the end of a dark tunnel. That light comes with the emergence of quarterback Randall Cunningham, whose extraordinary skills led the Eagles to an upset of the Raiders last week as the Eagles found an offense to go with their defense. Earlier this year against St. Louis, the Eagles came up short. Time ran out. Today from Philadelphia, the Eagles host the Cardinals, looking for that extra 2 yards. It is the Cardinals and the Eagles, and these two teams really play hard against one another every time they meet. We're in Philadelphia. The temperature is 42 degrees, and about 55,000 people will watch the action. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jack Buck with Joe Theismann. And Joe, the one thing that Gene Stallings moans about all the time is the fact that they can't get a hold of the football. They have only 7 interceptions and 9 fumbles, and he wants more than that.
Well, it's been the one area of his football team that has just not come up with big plays. They had an opportunity last week against the Redskins. Freddie Joe Nunn had an interception in his hand, let it fall away. That's been the story of their year. They cannot come up with the turnovers.
Meanwhile, the Eagle defense has been very good, but their offense is led in the rushing department by their quarterback, and that's not always good.
It's not always good. And as far as the Philadelphia Eagles go, Randall Cunningham has led the team in rushing the last 4 weeks. They've only won one of those football games. If the Eagles are going to win, they're going to have to win with Randall Cunningham being a complete quarterback, and that includes throwing the football. They're young, but they've got a long way to go, and Buddy Ryan is anxious to see how much his team can improve through this football game.
We shall find out about the Cardinal offense early. They'll receive. You see that the Cardinals lead the series. The two teams have been playing each other for quite a while. And back on November 2nd, 13-10. The Eagles led 10-0 at one time in that game. That's when Stout ran from the quarterback spot and changed the game around. Paul McFadden will kick it off. And back deep for the Cardinals, we have Vi Sikahema and Eric Swanson. Hope you enjoy the game. And it is Sikahema. And a big hit to start the game at the 24-yard line. Downfield for the Eagles was the linebacker Alfonso Johnson. And there's Neil Lomax, who's back at the controls. Here's the defense, which he will face. It's a 4-man front, which changes considerably. Reggie White, Ken Clark, Reggie Singletary, and Greg Brown. Their linebackers are Gary Cobb, Mike Reichenbach, and the rookie Seth Joyner. On the corners, Ronell Young and a new starter at the right corner, and Albert Fowles. Andre Waters and Terry Hogue are the safeties. Wes Hopkins has been out of the Philadelphia lineup. Hogue plays there from the 24 and with Green in motion. First down pass. Caught by the tight end. That doesn't happen very often. First down across the 40 goes Doug Marsh. It's only his second catch in the last 5 games. And for Marsh, only his 10th of the year. 19 yards. Neil Lomax with Stump Mitchell and Earl Farrell, Roy Green and J.T. Smith. And a patched offensive line. Louis Sharp, the rookie Ray Brown, the rookie Gene Chilton, Derek Kennard at the right guard, and Tootie Robbins with Doug Marsh at the Cardinal 43. Now the eye with Stump Mitchell, the tailback. 5 men lined up front for the Eagles. Green in motion. Pretty good block by Farrell, but the linebackers filled that one in a hurry, Joe.
Well, Seth Joyner comes in from the weak side. It's an excellent football play by Joyner. He is on the outside. You'll see him down the lower part of your screen. Now, the Cardinals can block all the linemen, but they don't have anybody who's responsible. See Joyner fight off the block by Louis Sharp and meet Mitchell right in the hole. The Cardinals feel like they want to try and throw early on this Eagle team, loosen them up a little bit so that they can run the football.
Now from the 46, second down and 7 after a 3-yard gain by Mitchell. Troy Johnson is the added wide receiver. Outside, and a diving catch is good by Troy Johnson. He's a rookie who's making progress. That's another first down. And it was Roynell Young covering. They say that Young plays it very softly on the corner.
He does play it softly. And again, you have to realize he's in man-to-man coverage all day long. He can't get up there and start putting a lot of pressure on somebody, have people go by him. I think as the game goes on, he'll come up and put a little more pressure on Johnson and Green and create situations for the defense. But right now, they're just sort of setting things up, seeing what the Cardinals are going to do.
There's Gene Stallings, the head coach. His team has thrown 2 passes and run the ball 1 time. Intercepted, picked off on the corner by Fowles. Boy, he threw it right to him, to the 40-yard line. Fowles starting at the right corner in place of Evan Cooper, walked right into the ball, and that's his first of the year.
That was just either a broken route by Roy Green or just a poorly thrown ball. We'll look at it from the secondary now. You'll see Lomax go back. He sets, tries to make the throw. I believe it's just a poorly thrown ball by Neil Lomax. The pressure from the front 5 put on him caused him to throw it a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Was it that heavy?
Yeah, somebody was in his face.
Okay, now Cunningham from the 40-yard line for the Eagles. Gives to Crawford, the tough back out of Oklahoma State, 1 yard. Tackled by Bob Clasby. Here's the St. Louis defense today, a 3-man front. Clasby, David Galloway, and Al Baker. The linebackers are Freddie Joe Nunn, E.J. Jr., Nico Noga, whose brother has been an All-American at Hawaii this year, only a junior, and Charlie Baker, the other linebacker, with Carl Carter, the rookie, on one corner, Cedric Mack on the other, Leonard Young, Lonnie Young, and Leonard Smith. Byron Darby is the tight end. He's a defensive player primarily, but he's at tight end. Play goes across the 45-yard line with the rookie Anthony Toney out of Texas A&M carrying for 5. Here's the rest of the Philadelphia offense with Crawford and Toney, Quick and Kenny Jackson, the wide receivers. Up front, Ken Reeves, Nick Hayden, Matt Darwin, he's a rookie at center, Ron Baker, who is their steady man up there, Joe Conwell, a first-year man at the tackle spot, and Dave Little with Spagnola out of the lineup at the moment. Dennis Thurman, Lionel Washington checking defensively for St. Louis on 3rd and 4. First down. And Mike Quick, he is tough to stop.
That's one of the toughest situations, I think, for the Cardinal defense today is 3rd down and 4. Do you rush a lot of people and take a chance on having Randall Cunningham get out of the pocket, or do you just rush 4 and let him sit back there and throw? He shows a lot of poise just sitting in the pocket, reading the defense.
For a moment, it looked like he wanted to run.
I thought he was going to take off also.
First down at the Cardinal 42. All of this after the interception by Fowles. Toney caught it for a few yards, broke a tackle for a moment, lateral the ball, and it is a legal lateral. And apparently a first down.
Just one of those great individual efforts. It shows ingenuity on the ball clubs. First of all, Cunningham wants to go to the right of your screen. Nobody's there. He sets, comes back, dumps the ball off, does an excellent job of reading the defense. Now Toney just continues to fight and fight.
Flips it to Quick.
Reminds you a little bit of, the rugby type games. One thing the Eagles have managed to do is play well as an offensive unit. They're very young, but they're starting to make plays that give encouragement to one another.
First down at the Cardinal 31. Garrity is in as a wide receiver. And a delay to Toney. Joe Theismann and I saw Philadelphia play Seattle a couple of weeks ago, and Toney, the rookie out of Texas A&M, shows a lot of quickness off the ball.
I think that football game a few weeks ago gave Toney the opportunity to start in this one. Coach Ryan has constantly looked for one of his backs to come up front. Haddix, Crawford, Byers, Todd Latosi, any one of them who plays well is going to get a chance to play. Toney's playing well, so he's out there this afternoon.
Yeah, they benched Todd Latosi, demoted him. They have 2 tight ends, Dave Little and Byron Darby. 2nd and 6. No Spagnola, though, thus far. flags go down and look like a procedure call against Philadelphia and perhaps their left guard Nick Hayden, who moved number 62.
Or Kenny Reeves, somebody on that left side.
66 offense.
Okay, Reeves is right. And that's Gene Barth, the referee. He's from St. Louis. This Cardinal defense just hasn't taken advantage of the things that have transpired. For example, there have been 35 fumbles against the Cardinals, but they've latched down to only 9 of them.
And when we talked to Gene Stalling, he says rule of thumb is you'll get half of the fumbles, you know, so that you figure they should get 17 or 18. They've only recovered 9. That's the biggest challenge, I think, for that Cardinal defense, is to create a turnover.
2nd and 11 after the penalty. Thurman and Washington in for St. Louis. 4-man front, 4-man rush. And a little swing pass out here to Tony. He's tough. And let's see where they mark it. He was chased out by the linebacker, Anthony Bell. Along the sideline on the bench is Keith Byers. They got nothing from him to this point. He is their number 1 draft. Tony was their number 2 draft, and he apparently is the better of the two, and the ball's at the 18. Another first down. 14-yard pass play to Tony. There's Keith Byers. He's number 42, and he wants to get into the lineup, but this guy is keeping him out of there. St. Louis 18-yard line. All of this after the interception. First down pass, Cunningham outside. And taken down on the pass to Byron Darby. That's the first pass that he has caught. He's been a defensive player till now, but he caught that one for 3.
Again, we're starting to see the development of Randall Cunningham. A few weeks ago, he went to the coach and said, I'd like to set up quick. I'd like to throw the ball quick. It'll take some pressure off of their offensive line, who's been maligned all year. They've given up 84 sacks. They don't like that. And what you see is this young man starting to develop good, quick reads, making decisions, and getting rid of the football.
The ball rests at the St. Louis 15. Garrity is in, 2nd and 7. And they really nailed him that time. That's the first sack of the day, and it was Freddie Jones on the linebacker. You talk about coming in cleanly, he did.
Right down there at the left of your screen, you see him. He's going to come on a blitz and head right for Randall Cunningham. You can throw the ball quick, but if nobody's blocking someone, it's very difficult to even have time to throw it. Does a nice job of covering up, though.
And the one thing he did was not miss the tackle. He didn't go head hunting or anything of the sort. He went for the body and made the tackle.
That's something a lot of linebackers try and do. They come in, they really try and lay a shot on the quarterback, and they get overzealous, and they wind up missing them. I'm sure they're coming in very cautious and are aware of how Randall Cunningham can run.
That was a loss of 7. Keith Byers is into the lineup now for Philadelphia on 3rd down and 14. And the whistle. And we have another penalty against Philadelphia. They were as close as the Cardinal 15-yard line.
The Cardinals have made a substitution. What they've done is they put in 5 defensive linemen.
Still 3rd down.
They've put in 5 defensive linemen. They want to do that. There they are. You see Baker, Galloway, Duda, Mays, Glaspie. They're all in there, the 5 defensive linemen. Now, what that does is it creates problems for the Eagle offensive line. Each one of them has to block one-on-one. The linebackers, and there's Noga right up in the middle. Right just to the left of Cunningham, you see Nika Noga ready to come.
They're down and long. They're after him again, and they blindside him with Leonard Smith. Coming on the safety blitz, the 2nd sack of the day. Where'd he come from, Joe?
He came from the right side. There's Smith. There's Noga ready to put pressure. You'll see the back have to jump up and block. He's going to come around and make the play on him.
So now
you see Smith.
Now they're going to have to punt.
They just don't have enough people to block enough Cardinals.
There with Leonard Smith and Baker there, and Reeves didn't know what to do. That's what the Eagles usually do.
That's right. They figure if they can put enough pressure on the quarterback, he's not going to have time to throw the football.
This will be a punt by John Telchik. Now, they might take a penalty to give him a little more punting room. Line of scrimmage is the Cardinal 37. He just pumps it out there, and it's inside the 5, and it's into the end zone. So a bad break for the Eagles, a good break for the Cardinals, who will come out to the 20-yard line, a 37-yard punt, 6:51 left in the first quarter, no score. Yes, Yesterday here at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, we had punts, passes, pomp, and pageantry as the two service academies met. And they had a full house, a sellout crowd. This gentleman, Torrey Crawford, the Army quarterback, was the most valuable player of the game. And it's always a thrilling sight. And there was the final score as Army defeated Navy 27-7. Today it's pro football. We're at the vet, 55,000. We'll watch the Cardinals and the Eagles play. The Eagles have an exciting schedule. They play Dallas and they play Washington, so they're turned on, Joe.
Yes, they are.
And the Cardinals play the Giants next week. From the 20, a toss to Mitchell. He's got that bad toe, and Young has an angle on him, forces him back, but it's to the 37-yard line for a big first down run. Now they say, who is they? That you can't run against the Eagles. And the coach, Stalling, said we can.
Well, he said we can, and you simply can because you want to run weak side. Now the weak side is going to be your left side. There you see number 59 over pursue. Now, Stump Mitchell cuts back. That's the one thing in this defense you have to be, is you have to be disciplined and stay at home, or else this exact thing's going to happen. Tootie Robbins over there at the right tackle position does a nice job of clearing things out for him.
44 yards, and now the up-back Farrell is stopped cold. He got about a yard. He ran into Reichenbach, the linebacker, along with Ken Clark, number 71. That's the longest run against the Eagles so far this year. That was 44 yards by Stump Mitchell. Green Bay jumping ahead of Minnesota now. The Vikings, who have a record of 7-6, have to win that game to stay in contention. And Miami jumps ahead of New Orleans, and the same thing for New Orleans. A loss would eliminate them. Second down and 10. And a flag is down, and the pass is that a lateral? In any event, it went out of bounds.
That was a lateral.
I thought so.
That was a lateral. You saw the official keep his hand pointed towards the Cardinal backfield, meaning it was still a live play.
Meanwhile, I think the Eagles will take the play if that was a lateral. Otherwise, it's a motion call against the Eagles.
It absolutely was a lateral. There's no question about that. The Eagles should take this. That way the Cardinals will lose the down, and they'll have third down and a bunch.
Illegal motion, offensive left guard, penalty refused, third down.
Third down, that was a lateral, and they will mark the ball back at the 42 and make it third down and about 17.
You know, as an offensive football player, you just have to cover the ball whether or not you think it's a lateral. You have to assume that the ball is live
from Pee Wee League on.
That's right, until the whistle blows, or else it goes out of bounds.
It is third down and long, 3rd and 17. And down goes Lomax. He's sacked for the first time. Now he had time, Joe, to either throw the ball to somebody or throw it away.
Well, in this situation, it's third down and 17. To throw it away, you're not necessarily going to pick up that much yardage on the punt. If you hold that extra second, one of your receivers may clear, and you're still in good field position to put the Eagles back towards the goal line and let your defense go out and make them go the distance.
Clyde Simmons, the rookie defensive end, brought him down. Here's the punt by Greg Cater. He hangs it high. It's well covered. Fair catch called for by Garrity, and he takes it at his 15-yard line. So the Cardinals withstood an Eagle drive, and now the Eagles do the same.
There's the Cardinal defensive unit, and they realize that on their shoulders rests a lot of the fate of this football team. They've got to create turnovers. They rose to the occasion the first time the Eagles had the ball with a couple of key blitzes and managed to stop them from having an opportunity to score. Took them out of field goal range. So it sits really on their shoulders to create things for the Cardinal football team as a unit.
4:55 left in the first quarter, no score. Todd Latosi checks into the lineup along with Anthony Toney. Todd Latosi wears number 37. Fake to Toney, and a first down pass to Mike Quick. Quick drove the defender off, then came back for the ball. Carl Carter, the tackle.
Randall Cunningham just on a quick play-action fake. You can really start even to see him get more and more comfortable at the quarterback position. There's little things that you can watch a quarterback develop in. That's how quickly he sets up and reads after a play-action fake, which he did that time.
And Quick knew how to go, how deep to go. There was 11 yards.
You can see him starting to develop this rapport.
First down at the 26. And a delay to Tony. He gets those legs pumping. And good yards. Cunningham looks poised. He's staying in the pocket. Joe Theismann talked it over with him before the game about not running so much.
Yes, I have. I feel that I know I have to sit back and sit in that pocket and complete those passes. You know, I want my efficiency to go up, my percentage to go up. You know, I don't want to ever force an interception or maybe get a receiver hurt. I guess that's why I run the ball a little bit more.
From the 33. Home run ball to Quick. He beat Carter, and it's out of bounds. Oh, somebody got blasted down there. The ball was thrown out of bounds, drifted out of bounds after Quick had defeated Carl Carter.
When you teach a quarterback to throw the ball deep, you want to teach him to put it over the outside shoulder of the wide receiver. Cunningham sets up and just lets go. Now he puts this football right where it's, well, a little bit too far, but in the right general direction. Quick went by him.
Down goes the photographer. Wow. They replay it here for the fans at the vet. That's the reason for the crowd reaction. It's third down. And Big Lunch got it. Big Lunch got back up okay. It's third down and 2.5, and they spin, and it's a first down on a good effort by Tony. He was stopped, but he spun, and that's a first down for the Eagles.
Well, Hayden, Darwin, and Baker right up front are moving out. Galloway, E.J. Jr., and Noga. They're creating that little bubble in the middle, giving him an opportunity to run. One thing about that pass play also is Carl Carter is a rookie. Now, he's played fairly well, but he's still a bit inexperienced as opposed to Lionel Washington playing on the other side. So what they probably will want to do is try and match Quick up against Carl Carter a little bit more in the afternoon.
And Carter can really run. He was a track man at Texas Tech. But sometimes those receivers fool him over there with those moves. Jerry Rice did at San Francisco. Along the other side, and it is. Is that a catch? It is. This time it was Cedric Mack trying to cover, but a 46-yard pass play, one of the best receptions of the year.
When you're hot, you're hot. Randall Cunningham does an excellent job. He goes to the receiver with one-on-one coverage. He throws this ball inside of Mike Quick, who's running an out deep corner pattern. You can hear the crowd reacting to the catch as it's played back here in the stadium.
That's to the St. Louis 17 for a first down. Cedric Mack was trying to cover him. There's going to be a lot of one-on-one, man-to-man coverage by the Cardinals today. Garrity, the wide receiver. And Tony running with the ball for a couple. 1 yard, maybe. Quick, of course, is one of the quality receivers in football, and we may see him in the Pro Bowl again this year, despite the fact he's not having a lot of yards.
Well, I don't think this particular yardage amount reflects the type of year Mike Quick has had. It reflects the fact that the Eagles have had a lot of trouble on offense doing anything. It's just now that he started to accumulate a lot more yards and touchdowns.
Another tough wide receiver is in there now for the Eagles. Number 85, Ron Johnson, at 2nd and 8. Johnson's to the left. And a quickie outside and incomplete to Kenny Jackson in the end zone.
You can still see the youth of Randall Cunningham. That's a simple fade pattern, as it's referred to. Carter came up and got on Kenny Jackson. Nose to nose, wants to hand fight him right at the line of scrimmage. Jackson does a job of getting around. That's the kind of touches, that's the kind of touch pass that Randall Cunningham is going to have to concentrate on to develop even more. He's so talented. He's so incredibly talented. He's got that little bit of polish to move on. I see him becoming a real force in the National Football League in a hurry.
New Orleans back in their game against Miami. Lionel Washington and Dennis Thurman check in for the Cardinals. 3rd down and 9. It's incomplete, and that's interference against Lionel Washington. He came around the front, but hung on the back. You could see it from here, Joe.
I don't know.
I think so.
You know, you get the quarterback scrambling around, and he gets his arm out there. It could have been his left hand making contact. There you see Cunningham scrambling out of the pocket.
Avoided a tackle.
Avoided a tackle, and can't quite tell.
Defensive pass interference.
Okay.
Number 48 will replay the down.
Ineligible man downfield. That happens when you have a scrambling quarterback also.
It does. Cunningham had time. That time the Cardinals decided not to rush 6 or 7 men. They rushed 4, dropped 7 back in coverage. He did a nice job escaping, but his offensive linemen still don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to run? Is he going to pass? So they start downfield. The Cardinals right there dodged a big bullet.
His brother, Cunningham's brother, is Sam Cunningham, who is quite a professional back, a big fullback.
Sam the Bam Cunningham used to more or less patent that leap into the end zone for the New England Patriots.
3rd down and 9 for the Eagles. 1:22 left in the quarter, no score. Quick is back in there. Talk about a wild throw.
Well, he had to move, and the reason why is the Cardinals came with that 5 defensive lineman lineup, put 8 men at the line of scrimmage, and they managed to force him out of the pocket. A good adjustment by the Eagles. There you see the lineman right there. Everybody's covered. Got a man in the gap. Everybody's covered. Now he's going to have to sprint out and get away, which causes him to be a little less effective when he throws the ball. He's sprinting away from the pressure, and actually he just makes a bad throw. Mike Quick is wide open.
33-yard try by Paul McFadden. He's been in a slump. He is only 16 out of 24. And he puts the Eagles on top. With 1:12 left in the first quarter on a 33-yard field goal.
Teams with Super Bowl dreams. The Washington Redskins take on John Elway and the Denver Broncos. Next Saturday, a special edition of the NFL on CBS Sports.
Paul McFadden feeling better about himself. He had been in a slump. He just knocked one through from 33 yards. He does a lot of work for cerebral palsy around the Philadelphia early. He's a good kid and involved in the community. Sikahema is deep. And he took it on the 13. He waited patiently, and he got across the 30-yard line. Seth Joyner made the tackle downfield again. Well, next Saturday, collegiate basketball. Another season of college basketball on CBS, and the defending Pac-10 champion, the Wildcats of Arizona, take on Georgetown and Reggie Williams. He's some player. Next Saturday on CBS Sports, the home of the NCAA championship. And CBS Sports just signed a new exclusive 3-year contract for NCAA basketball. And we're pleased about that. Ball at the Cardinal 33-yard line. They trail 3-0. Mitchell looking for a place to run, and Reichenbach brought him down. You could see them flowing with the play. They really pursue on this Eagle team.
Well, that's the concept of the Eagle. You have to understand the Eagle defense. The concept is man-to-man defense. When you're in man-to-man defense, that means that everybody, 8 men, are near the line of scrimmage, and it's very, very difficult to try and just run a simple sweep on them. You've got to run cutback plays and quick hitting plays.
Even though Mitchell had a long run in this game, he is still hampered with a bad toe, and that's what he wears to try to take away some of the pain of that turf toe. 2nd down and 9. Wide open to Marsh for another first down and across midfield. That's his 2nd today. Hallelujah, he's saying. Why are they throwing to him in this circumstance?
Well, against the Eagles, in their concept of defense, they basically bring the safety up on the line of scrimmage in run support and is in coverage on a back or a wide receiver. You'll see Doug Marsh really is being covered by a linebacker. Here he heads into the voided zone area, the weakness of the zone.
And that marks the end of the first quarter. It will be a Cardinal first down at the Philadelphia 48. That's Doug Marsh. He's caught 2 today. This is a red letter day. Speaking of red, and Mitchell is upended after going inside the 45. They have quite a 1-2 running punch in this Cardinal backfield.
Yeah, Mitchell and Farrell. You're right. Both of them averaging 4.5 yards a carry. And talking to Coach Stallings, he said, look, he said, everybody says you can't run against the Eagles, but that's the one thing we've been doing well. There he is. You know, two of the top 5 in the National Football League as far as average goes. It's Mitchell and Farrell right there, so why not try and run?
And it's a second down call, 2nd and 6. Sounded like an audible called by Lomax. And a pop by Farrell. And a flag goes down, probably holding shy of the Philadelphia 40-yard line.
Now, anytime you see a flag go down in that area, it's either holding or face mask. In this case, it's holding.
Cardinals had a lot of penalties prior to today.
91 coming into this game.
Pittsburgh ahead at home.
58 offense, 10-yard penalty. We'll replay the second down.
That's the center, Gene Chilton, the rookie out of Texas.
You know, that's the one thing that the Cardinals have done. If they could just play a football game and be 1st and 10, 2nd and so on and so forth, they probably could do well, but they've wound up so often in this situation. 2nd down and 16, 3rd down and 27, 3rd down and 17. It just makes it so difficult for an offense to get any continuity.
Ball is at their own 46 now. It had been into Eagle territory. Oh, what a good catch by J.T. Smith for a first down. And what a year he is having. He was picked up from Kansas City as a free agent, and he came into this game with 61 receptions. That was good for 20 yards.
His career high is 63. He had that when he was with Kansas City back in '81. So it's inevitable that he'll set an own personal record. But he constantly is hurt he's hurt in a game. He's hurt in practice, but he never stops working. There you see his statistics, and he's really been the MVP of this football team offensively this year.
And he's having one of his best years ever. First down. And off the fingertips of the tight end, Doug Marsh. Marsh is not that free-running, leaping wide receiver type. He's a workhorse kind.
Well, he's a blocker. You know, he's the type of guy who's out there helping the running game.
They're into the second quarter, and the Giants and Redskins are slugging it out in RFK. I'll bet that place is rocking.
It is rocking. That game there, the Redskins and the Giants are really starting to take over for the it's never going to take over the Cowboy game, but it has the significance of a Cowboy-Redskin game.
Technically, the Giants lead the division, and the Redskins the same record, and the Cowboys still in the picture. Second down here. Good protection. And an incomplete pass thrown to Roy Green, and another flag goes down.
This one could be defensive holding. Officials will huddle around. Of course, Coach Stallings wants to know what's going on. He hadn't had many things go his way all season long.
He doesn't get along with the officials very well either.
I mean, he writes little letters every now and then to let them know how he feels, and he finally said, to heck with it, I'm not writing anymore. I got tired of writing.
Contact foul was called. However, the quarterback was out of the pocket. No foul.
No foul is the call, because the quarterback was on the run.
Yeah, you know, somehow or other, I think they really put a lot of pressure on the officials to make determinations of whether the quarterback's in a pocket, is he inside the tackle area, whether he's moving forward, whether he's moving backward. I think that's one rule that the National Football League really has to simplify, is what is pass interference. You know, forget defensive holding. It's either you interfered with them or you didn't interfere with them.
Bernard Wilson and Evan Cooper check in for the Eagles on 3rd and 10. They show the blitz. Troy Johnson with the ball, and that's a first down outside the 10. Evan Cooper tackled him, and good protection by that makeshift Cardinal offensive line, 22 yards.
That's right. The Cardinals did a fine job of protecting Neil Lomax that time. They actually have done a pretty good job. They've had an opportunity to protect him here. Now he's back in the shotgun, and you'll see as the play develops, you'll see Troy Johnson coming from your left. Now the Eagles decide to play a zone. You see everybody, Bernard Wilson, everybody running back to cover J.T. Smith and Roy Green, and they bring Johnson underneath for the big completion.
And now here's stumped Mitchell. He did not get back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of people, Joe, you know, you move the ball down the field with those passes, and then they run, and they get stopped, and a lot of people say, why'd they run the ball?
Well, that time you ran the ball because you had third down and long yardage before to get it. But you have to create situations when you can take advantage of the pass, and you do that by having a good running game. This is the one thing the Cardinals have not been really able to develop, is the passing game off the running game. They have to, you know, find the mix.
No gain at the 13. Marsh, the tight end on the right side. Lomax airs it out for Marsh, and it was incomplete. Marsh is a plotter, as we mentioned before. He's not a speedster, and that ball would have had to landed right in his hands in order for him to catch it.
What they did is they double cover Roy Green. There you'll see the two guys outside. Now Roy's going to run a post. Marsh is going to come down and run an out and up, and they're going to try and get him the football, and he's just not nifty enough.
Gary Cobb, the linebacker, stays with Marsh.
There you see him cover Green. Now there's Marsh coming around, and the ball. Neil Lomax had to throw the ball just a little bit sooner than he wanted to, or else he would have been able to make a more accurate throw.
Now with 11.5 left in the half, and the Eagles leading 3-0. It's 3rd and 10 at the 13. Troy Johnson is back in there for St. Louis, and a running play to Mitchell to the 10, and they'll try a field goal as Ken Clark tackled him after a 3-yard gain.
That's just a great individual effort by Ken Clark. You know, he's playing over Derek Kennard.
What made the Cardinals think it was going to pop open for 10 yards?
Well, what happens is you've got those receivers in, and everybody spread out across the field, and there's the gaps in between the defensive linemen. They come up on the pass rush. Once you can get linemen to commit upfield, it makes it an easier job for your offensive linemen to turn them, and there's that gap or their crease. The secondary's in coverage, so you get that area, and then Stump can make one or two guys miss.
28-yard try, and he really thumped it, and he tied it. I'll tell you this, we saw Schubert last week, and he really gets a leg into it. That was a 27-yard field goal. We're tied 3-3 with 10:48 left in the half. Like the city of Philadelphia, it's a very interesting and, of course, quite a historic city. There is the Cardinal kicker, Eric Schubert. He'll kick it off, and in the field goal department, he's now 3 out of 4, and he's shown us a strong leg, Joe.
Oh, he has, you know, and it's that's another area. You know, the Cardinals over the last 2 or 3 years just have not been able to find any consistency in their kicking game. They drafted John Lee. They went out to, you know, make him their #1 pick, and tried to have it happen. He's had knee surgery now.
How many kickers in the last 2 years?
5 in the last 2 years, and it's tough to get some consistency from that position if you're changing all the time.
Crawford and Todd Latosi are back, awaiting the kick return. And it heads for Crawford on the 10. Powerfully out across the 30-yard line. Next Saturday, we're going to have a special edition of the NFL Today as a result of the Redskins playing at Denver. So after their tough game today at home against the Giants, they have to travel to Denver, and 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game will go at it, Schrader and Elway. 2 real strong arms. And then next Sunday, these Cardinals will be playing at the Meadowlands against the Giants, and you'll see it at 11:30 St. Louis time. Byers and Tony are the running backs. Well, they benched him, and they inspired him, and Lonnie Young made the tackle.
I'll tell you, besides Keith Byers, there's one other man I'm sure that's very happy to see that type of running coming from, and that's his coach, Buddy Ryan. Watch this block right here that allows Byers to be able to make the move and break outside. Look at him take Glaspie all the way down.
And they caught the linebacker up inside, Freddie Joe Nunn.
That was Joe Conwell.
The ball at the 35. And a delay to Byers. And Gardner got a first down on that run. Well, that's what they've been looking from the former Ohio State player. Galloway and Young made the tackle, an 8-yard gain.
On that side, you take advantage of the fact that Al Baker is basically a pass rusher. Most of the right defensive ends in the National Football League are. He comes up the field, which allows Byers to cut underneath and make the game.
Byers to the Cardinal, 27. 3-3 the score. 2 tight ends, Little and Darby. Tony. He made a move. He got about 3 inside the 25. Coming away was Charlie Baker with the ball, but the whistle had blown, and now Baker throws the ball away. A 4-yard gain. 9:47 left in the half, and we're tied 3 apiece. This is a typical Cardinal-Eagle game.
Yeah, it's a slugfest. You know, the last time they played, the score was 13-10. Cardinals pulled it out in the end, and the Eagles are very cognizant. They had control of that football game. They don't want to lose one like they did, or lose this one even.
New England, if they win today, and they have to come from behind to do so, will clinch a wild card game. Meanwhile, Cincinnati is a game behind Cleveland in the Central Division of the AFC, and Atlanta's still alive with regard to the playoffs, and they're ahead. A little bit behind Quick, and it bounced off of his shoulder. He likes to catch it with his hands, but this one thumped off the shoulder pad.
Still doesn't matter. If the quarterback can put the ball in that area, he's got to make that catch. Got to make that. How about earlier in the ballgame, he makes one turning left, turning right, and now he gets it on his chest. Now Mike says, listen, he knows. He's telling him right away, I know I should have had that. Give me another shot at it. He likes to run that particular pattern from that side of the football field.
Cunningham's having a pretty good day. He's 6 out of 10. And he was wrestled down by Al Baker. Big Bubba got in there. That's his 8th sack of the year, and the 3rd time they have nailed the quarterback. Where'd he come from?
Well, oddly enough, he's going to come right behind the pole right there. You see just a lot of pressure.
Well, he was hiding behind the pole.
Of course, that's why he couldn't see him. And you'll see him come in and make the play. See him take the hard inside charge. Ken Reeves really opened up his inside shoulder. Now, I think that was just a miscommunication from the tackle to the quarterback.
They've been sacked a lot this year. That's a record.
Well, it's going to, and I think the record's going to continue to grow because they've got some more games. One I'm sure they're not proud of.
3rd down and 15 at the Cardinal 29, and a timeout is called by Cunningham with 8:58 left in the half. Eagles had a field goal in the first quarter. Cardinals had one in the second. We're tied 3-3.
Line of scrimmage, and he saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen and Nika Noga looking right down his throat, and they don't know quite how to block it yet.
So it's 3rd and 15 with 8:50 remaining in the half. They've started the clock already. Cunningham rolling to get away from that pressure, and Quick is out of bounds. Quick was over the end line, and here comes McFadden.
What the Eagles decided to do when they get that 5-man front, they want to sprint out. What the Cardinals did, said, okay, if you want to call timeout and adjust to our 5-man front, we're going to take one out. There you see, now they only have 3 defensive linemen in. So as the Eagles tried to prepare, the Cardinals said, we're not going to rush everybody. We're going to drop them back.
And they covered the backs in the backfield. Now this will be a 47-yard try by McFadden. His longest is 49 this year. And it's blocked. And the Cardinals take over there. It looked like Leonard Smith got a hand on it, number 45.
That was also a low snap, and Telchik just wasn't able to get it down for him. A lot of times kickers want to try and get that extra oomph on long field goals, and they don't get the ball in the air.
Leonard Smith would like to make the Pro Bowl this year, and he might very well be qualified.
Here you'll see him come right through there, but the ball is going to get stuck on the ground. You'll see Telchik never really gets an opportunity. You see it's down on the ground. He never gets a chance to get it set right. Leonard Smith gets that left hand out and just knocks it down.
So that was a miss by McFadden. The Cardinals are at their 29. Leonard Smith talking with Gene Stallings. And the 3-3 tie prevails. Green in motion. Mitchell spun back after gaining very few yards. He ran into the arms of Greg Brown, number 98, 2-yard gain. There the Giants break on top. They go ahead on a pass play from Sims to Bavaro, good for 9 yards. And the Giants beat the Redskins the first time they played, didn't they?
They did, and the one thing I think the Redskins thought they could do was be to contain Joe Morris as a running back But they have to contend with a resurgent passing game from the Giants.
There's 8.5 left in the half in that game at Washington. And there's our time remaining, 7:50. Second down and 8. Misdirection play, and it didn't fool him very well. It was Seth Joyner chasing down Mitchell. That was kind of an option play.
Well, oddly enough, that play went exactly like they thought it would do. What's going to happen is you're going to see Mitchell make a little step to his right. They're not going to block this defensive end, and it's going to be up to him to outrun it. You'll see Lomax pitch the ball right back where Mitchell will be going back the other way. You see him throw it, fake inside, pitch it back. Now they feel he can outrun Greg Brown, which he does.
But the linebacker got over there, and that's Joyner. He's a rookie out of Texas El Paso, and it brings about 3rd and 3. It's a long 3. Frizzell is the extra defensive back for Philadelphia. Green in motion, goes upfield, and that pass is good for a first down to Smith, and it was just missed by the back who was arriving on the scene, Andre Waters.
Oh gosh, he wishes he had about an inch longer finger. That was an excellent timing pattern by Lomax out to Green. I mean, Smith. It's the kind of thing that the Cardinals want to try and do. Just get back, get set, and throw the ball. Don't wait, don't hesitate, but make quick decisions. That's the way you get the rhythm back in your offense.
From the 43. First down pass underneath to Mitchell, and he has about 9. Tackle by Gary Cobb, number 50, the linebacker. He can move. That's a 9-yard gain.
He's just very happy, you know, with the trade from Detroit. Mitchell's down on the field. Little Stump takes a lot of hits for a guy his size. You know, he's 5'9", 188 pounds. He's their big back. I mean, he's the back that the Cardinals count on making things happen.
He's always hurt. This year he started off being hurt. We saw him get whacked and hurt his ribs in the San Francisco game, and a bad toe as well. We have 7:19 left in the half. But in the playoffs, Sikahema is in the lineup in place of Mitchell, who walked off under his own power very slowly. 2nd and 1, and they stop Farrell, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 1. Seth Joyner, the linebacker, number 59, tackled it. Let's go back to that picture. San Francisco plays later today. Minnesota's winning today. Dallas plays tonight. Atlanta's winning today. So it may be a couple of more weeks before we sort this out. And after today, these are the opponents for these teams. The Redskins play at Denver, and then they play here against the Eagles. The 49ers after today have New England and the Rams. Minnesota has perhaps the easiest.
Well, I don't know, you know, the Oilers maybe, but New Orleans has come on to play real tough football.
3rd down and 1 here. That's a first down as Earl Farrell dived in there. Farrell got low and got the first down, 3 yards. Good blocking up front by Chilton and by Derek Kennard playing the right guard spot.
They're the center and guard. Now watch, they'll just fire out and try and move that line back. What it boils down to is the offense has got to create some place for the running back to go. There you see him, just give him a little seam on the right side, make the play.
Down to the Eagle 46. First down pass by Lomax to the sideline, and that one got away from him. You could see as soon as he released the ball that the ball got away from him.
Well, you know, he sets back on his back foot, and instead of shifting his weight forward and getting the ball to go in an arc or trajectory towards the receiver, he just got hung up back there, and the ball just sailed out of his hands overhead. J.T. Smith was open, a very similar pass route that they had before.
The Bears with Doug Flutie playing now. Tomczak started. Flutie's in there now, and he threw a touchdown pass, and the Bears lead 21-0. Chicago's already clinched the Central Division title. They're trying to win their 12th game of the year. 2nd and 10. The Eagles will come after him now, I bet. So the Cardinals run it to Sikahema, and he gets a few. 5 yards. 3rd down coming up, and Greg Brown, the tackler.
As a quarterback, these are the down and distances that you feel more comfortable with. Of course, 3rd down and 17, nobody should be comfortable with. But when it's 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 7, you should be able to convert a fairly large percentage of these.
This is a 3rd down play. Here's what's transpired in this one. Rather close, although the Eagles have the edge in rushing, Cardinals in passing, and the total belongs to the Cardinals. Third down and 6. And it is incomplete. Off the fingertips of J.T. Smith. He comes up howling, saying that he'd been held by Roynell Young.
Roynell Young loves to meet the challenge of one-on-one. J.T. Smith looking back, explaining to the official, come on, he grabbed me. What are you doing? Roynell Young loves to play that corner. He feels much more comfortable playing one-on-one, man-on-man coverage. Under Marion Campbell, he had to play a lot of zone. Now he's back doing the things that he feels more comfortable with.
Here's the second punt of the day by Greg Cater. And Garrity is back waiting for it, trying for the sideline. And it's out of bounds inside the 20, apparently. Let's see where they mark it with 4:49 left in the half. They mark it at the 16-yard line.
Fake into the line of scrimmage and then just take a shot at and go for it. Put Mike Quick one-on-one, maybe on Carter, and let him run on down the field.
You have a record of 4-9. Why not?
Why not? I think you got to develop something with your football team. May as well take a chance. Let your quarterback know that you're willing to give him an opportunity.
Cardinals have that 3-man front. Tony in the backfield, first down pass, and they sacked him again. The ball came loose, but the play had been whistled dead. The 4th sack of the quarterback Cunningham, and Freddie Joe Nunn got him for the second time.
There's Freddie Joe Nunn lined up right over the tight end. He's going to come flying. Now that time Cunningham makes a move and gets away, but they still called him in the grasp. You see him let him get away. The back makes a decision to go out and block the cornerback trying to come, and Nunn has a shot at him. I think they were going to try and go up top deep.
You know, that rule of in the grasp of has to hurt a guy like Cunningham. He reminds me of Roman Gabriel. People used to hang on Roman all the time, and he'd still throw the ball.
Well, I think it hurts quarterbacks that do have the ability to run. That's why officials have to learn who they're refereeing.
Second down and 19. Again inside the 5. That's a 5th sack, and it was Al Baker and David Galloway there to get him.
Now his offensive line is going to get credit for a sack, but by no means is the offensive line of Reeves, Hayden, Darwin, Baker, and Conwell responsible for that sack. That time he held on to the ball too long. When you're backed up, just get rid of it. Come up second down or third down. Don't put yourself in that much of a hole.
Baker has 2 sacks today. Nunn has 2, and Baker has 9 for the year. The ball's at the 4. And it is 3rd down and 22.
You know what I call in this situation?
Joe, the Cardinals should get in a very good field position if they can hold them in this down.
That's right. And as a quarterback, you know what you do in this situation? You look at the coach and hope he's got one for you.
Hope the coach is looking at you. The running play. Boy, these two teams are hitting, I'll tell you that. That was good for a 2-yard gain, and a Philly punt is coming up with Clasby making the tackle. There are a couple of sacks have set him back.
Well, you know, and really they were decisionary sacks, something the quarterback made a decision to do. You don't think there's some hitting going on?
Watch this block by Nick Hayden. I think it was on Carl Carter, number 41.
Well, he's going to protect his running back and make sure. Look at that.
Well, Hayden weighs 270 and Carter 185. Here's a punt by Telchik, his second of the day. Sikahema back at the Philadelphia 45. Good snap, no pressure. Line drive kick. Sikahema will return it from the 47-yard line. Comes right, and his own man knocked him down. Wolfley, the captain of the special team, took him down. A 46-yard punt. Wolfley nailed it. The best tackle of his career.
And to add injury to insult, about 4 or 5 of the Eagles walked up and patted him on the rear end and say, great tackle.
I don't know how far he would have gone, but we'll never know. The ball
Further
is
than that.
The ball is at the Eagle 49. Well, the Cardinals have 2 minutes and 48 seconds to do something about the 3-3 tie. Smith goes left. You see players stumbling. All over this AstroTurf, even when they're walking. Green's to the right side. Lomax swings it out. It's caught by Mitchell, who's back in there, and he gets about 4 yards. And let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Jack, the Chicago Bears have a new quarterback, Doug Flutie, and he has scored his first NFL touchdown running in for the 4-yard line, and the Bears lead the Buccaneers 21-0. Let's go back to Jack.
Well, Tampa Bay is going to draft very high. They have a record of 2-11, and they're headed for 2-12. And the Bears want that home field advantage. And if they win today, they'll have 12 wins, 2 losses.
The Bears are also looking for a quarterback to help them through the playoffs.
2nd down and 6. Mitchell got stuck behind Derek Kennard. He stayed right with him. And it took us under 2 minutes to tackle by Reichenbach and Gary Cobb. 1:56 left in the half. The suave Brent Musburger at halftime, and they'll be joined by the Heisman Trophy winner Vinny Testaverde and Brian Bosworth, the Oklahoma linebacker.
I think Testaverde's probably, in the last 10 years of football, the best pure quarterback to come out of college over that period of time. And Bernie Kosar was in Miami before him, but Testaverde has the ability to move as well as throw the football.
Mitchell is out. Broderick Sargent is in the Cardinal lineup on 3rd down and 3. Under 2 minutes left in the half. Tied 3-3. And that was a poor throw. He tried to get it to Marsh, and he threw it at the feet of the defensive player Cobb. Meanwhile, Broderick Sargent was wide open.
Well, that was a travesty from the beginning. It looked like the Cardinals might have jumped, the Eagles might have jumped. The timing of that entire route was off. What they decided to do was keep their backs in the backfield and just try and run one-on-one with the wide receivers.
Is he happy?
Here he is discussing with the official. He said they had to be offside. I think that's exactly what he's saying. They had to have jumped offside.
So here's another punt by Cater. Trying for the sideline. It sure went out of bounds. A flag is down. Not a very good kick by Cater. He didn't get what he wanted. Barth is going to call it back.
He wants it right now. Okay, there it is. No, what he's doing is he was waving the man back to give him a better line of where the ball was going to be. Now he's going to find out what the penalty is.
Cardinal offensive unit is coming back out on the field because a penalty against Philadelphia would be a Cardinal 1st down.
There's no foul on the play. There was no foul on the play. The defense only had 11 men on the field.
The first call was they thought there were 12 men on the field, but it turned out to be wrong, and so the punt stands and they mark it down at the Eagle 23. The AFC picture, the wild card race, all of these teams are alive. What with Denver leading their division, Cleveland leading the other, and New England atop of their other. So it's going to be a wicked race. And here's who these people have left after today. Jets, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Cleveland, and the Jets. That's tough. Raiders are still in it. Kansas City and Indianapolis. So don't count them out yet. Myers broke loose and got a few. There's a 6-yard gain, and the Eagles have a couple of timeouts remaining. Clock is running.
Coach Stallings really wants an explanation of what's going on out on the football field, and you can see him making his points.
He thought they were offside, and it should have been a 1st down.
Washington's tied it up with the Giants.
Oh, right through the hands of Todd Latosi. As he turned around, he couldn't latch on, and Noga was trailing him. Todd Latosi is another gentleman who was born outside of the continental United States and went to school at Washington State. There are 3 of them in this game. The Islanders, Todd Latosi, Noga, and Sikahema. And John Lee, who was born in Korea, is, of course, on the injured reserve list.
Todd Latosi has 37 receptions, and Cunningham, who started out 5 for 5, has fallen off considerably with his accuracy.
Thurman and Washington and Anthony Bell are in there for the Cardinals on defense. 3rd down, 1st down. Caught by Garrity across the 45, and we are down to 1:03 left in the half, and the clock is stopped by the Eagles, who have one timeout remaining. The Eagles have the ball at their own 46, a first down. Sam and Janet Evening. Here is a first down play. Off the hands of a Cardinal defender. Looked like Galloway got a hand on it, or Leonard Smith. It was Galloway. And 58 seconds remaining in the half.
Somebody came around and put pressure on Cunningham, which forced him to throw that one into the ground a little bit. Just nicked his arm as he was starting to go. You know, the Cardinal defense, we've talked about how much trouble they've had creating plays. They've played very well the first half. They've kept Randall Cunningham under wraps. I don't think he's run once so far. Not yet. So they're doing their job.
2nd and 10 from the 46. And they got him again. And I'll say this, for Anthony Bell, he didn't take it lightly when he got in there. It wasn't a dirty hit, but it was a strong hit, and
no,
that
it comes
is
right
another
in.
sack.
There you see, they're going to start bringing people, just trying to put pressure on Cunningham. Watch him make his move inside.
6 sacks of Cunningham, and he is still on the loose. All points bulletin, and they got him again at the 15. It was Al Baker. That's the 7th sack. And the Cardinals call timeout with 37 seconds left in the half.
That's a situation where a quarterback has gone out and created a possible scoring opportunity for his team and given the other team an opportunity to score. He should have either thrown the ball away when he first got away from that escape, or else just ran with it just to keep the clock running. Those are the kind of things that Randall Cunningham has to spend some time and work on.
7 sacks for 64 yards. We had a scramble. The last play of the game last week by the Cardinals reminded us of a game in 1982. Those of you who were at the stadium in St. Louis last week saw this play against Washington. Cardinals trailing by 3. And Sikahama back to Wolfley. Who's that? Mitchell again? Now watch this hit out of bounds at the very end of the game last week. That could have been a penalty, and the Cardinals could have had a chance for a long field goal. Now, with 26 seconds left in the half, the pass is down to the 41 with 20 seconds left, and timeout is called. And that was caught by Troy Johnson, and a flag is down. Flag down, back upfield. Holding St. Louis. Well, that kind of assures of us a 3-3 tie at the half, right?
Yes, it does. Well, you know, it was 17 seconds to go. It might well. I think the Cardinals might well, just in this situation, run the play out, go in and regroup 3-3. You don't want to give up an interception at this point.
Illegal use of the hands, number 62 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
The call was against the rookie Ray Brown, who's playing the left guard. Joe Bostic, of course, is out of the Cardinal lineup for the rest of the year. Doug Dawson, their other starting guard. By the way, in case you've forgotten, Philadelphia will receive the second half kickoff. Have you noticed any of the moves by Troy Johnson of the Cardinals?
Yes, I have. Troy Johnson is the man who has the most speed of their wide receivers, and they really want to see him develop. You know, he only caught 1 pass in college, 9 in the USFL, so he's really just learning to play the position of wide receiver. But he has that invaluable thing, and that's speed.
1st and 20. 3 wide receivers. Johnson, about whom we were talking, and smart enough to get out of bounds with 9 seconds left in the half. Troy Johnson played with Denver in the United States Football League.
You know, they could make a reception now in the middle of the football field and have the receiver go down and automatically signal timeout without being tackled or touched. So if they can pick up another 20-yard, 25-yard reception, they might have a shot at a field goal.
Ball is at their own 48 for St. Louis. Blitz is on, they pick it up, and there's J.T. Smith. Couldn't get to it with 5 seconds left in the half. He had made his move and cleared away. Look at the Giants go back on top in that seesaw game with 23 seconds left in the half of that one. A pass from Sims to Johnson. Saturday, we have college basketball, Arizona and Georgetown on CBS, and we also have the NFL today, and this game, the Redskins at Denver. That's Saturday.
Buddy Ryan made a decision that time, like he always does. As you can see, Washington's going to be out in Denver on Saturday. Play that ball game. That one's, you know, every game now has significance to everybody, whether you're a rebuilding ball club like the Cardinals and Eagles, or whether you're in playoff contention like Denver and Washington.
3rd and 4, 5 seconds left in the half. Watch how far he throws the ball. No way. And that ends the half. There are no flags, and it was Reggie White getting in there, number 92, and that's the 2nd sack of Neil Lomax in the half.
So I was talking, you know, Buddy Ryan made a decision there. A lot of coaches will want to lay back and let you complete the passes. What Buddy said is, no, I'm going to blitz. I'm going to put pressure on you and make you throw the football. That's what caused the incompletion to J.T. Smith on that pass previous to this one.
McFadden kicked one of 33 yards in the first quarter, and Schubert kicked one 27 yards for the Cardinals in the second quarter, and Philadelphia will receive the second half kickoff. We're pretty lucky at this time of year to have this kind of weather. It was 42 degrees at game time, and 55,000 fans on hand, and a typical Cardinal Eagle game, 3-3 at the half.